What's up, guys? Great to be back. Happy to be back here on a Monday morning. There's no place I'd rather be than the DETV studios here in Wilmington. And we have a lot of sports to talk about. It's been a little bit, so we're going to start with our local college football programs. As you guys mentioned a little bit earlier, they've made the First State proud here through the first half of the season. And Delaware State, a big part of that. As you know, they celebrated their homecoming over the weekend as they welcomed in Southern Connecticut State. As you see some of these images here, it was a heck of a Saturday for DSU, and Coach Jackson had to say this going into the game. He said going into the game, they knew they hadn't won a homecoming since 2018, so they definitely wanted to put on a huge win in front of their home crowd. Well, the Hornets, they certainly did that on their way to a huge 70-23 win. DSU had 791 yards of offense. I'll say it again, 791 yards of offense. 608 of those were on the ground, so 608 rush yards. Both of those, you guessed it, are the most in a game in school history. And if you remember back in the beginning of the season, the Hornets, they were picked to finish last in the MEAC preseason poll, with conference play coming up just around the corner. Open week next week, and then Del State will open up conference play. So me and I have had a chance to check out some of those fundraisers in the offseason. There was a lot of buzz and a lot of excitement, and now they are showing what they can do on the field. So from Delaware State and their homecoming, what a big day, to the Hens and Delaware. They are also off to a good start in their first year as an FBS program. They're sitting at 3-2, 1-1 in the new Conference USA. A record crowd of over 19,000 people were on hand last week in the game against Western Kentucky. Now the Hens, they're going to travel to Jacksonville, Alabama tomorrow afternoon for a primetime game on ESPN on Wednesday night against Jacksonville State and the Gamecocks. So kickoff is set for 7 p.m. This one's going to be, again, primetime national television, ESPN. But if you're driving around or if you want to listen to yours truly on the radio, you can tune in to 94.7 WDSD for the call there as well. So Delaware and Delaware State doing some big things here to start off our college football season. Now to some of those student athletes who may hope to join one of those two universities down the line. It's now time for our high school football rankings courtesy of 302 Sports. So let's start here with Class 3A, and sitting atop there is your champ from 2 years ago, finalist last year, Salesianum, followed by number 2, Middletown. I know Paige likes that one. 3, Appoquinimink. 4, Caravel. 5, Smyrna. And then rounding out your Super 7 here will be St. George's coming in at the 6th spot, and then Cape Henlopen in the 7th spot at 3-3. So again, a lot of great teams sitting atop those rankings. Going to be a very competitive playoff here down the line. And now let's take a look at Class 2A, and it starts with number 1, Howard, led by Jamison Bryant. They are 6-0 undefeated. The first 3 teams here in these rankings, all undefeated. Lake Forest 6-0, Indian River is also 6-0, and then Red Lion, Odessa, and Laurel coming in at 4, 5, 6, and then it's Delaware Military Academy grabbing that 7th spot at 3-3. And finally, we're going to take it to Class 1A, and this is going to be really competitive this year as well. How about the Seaford Blue Jays at number 1, 6-1? What a season for Seaford so far. Brandywine, a big win over St. Elizabeth's on the road on Saturday. They're at number 2, 4-2. Newark Charter, a great season so far at number 3, 5-1, followed by St. Elizabeth's, Concord undefeated at 6-0. Newark, great to see them back in the rankings here at number 6 at 4-2, and then Conrad at 3-3. So those are your high school rankings for all 3 classes in terms of football, and we're going to wrap up the segment today with the 302 Sports top 5 plays from early October. So now we've got some video for you. Here are some of the top plays we found up until this point of high school sports. It all starts here at number 5, and Seaford and Vince Evans. Check out Vince Evans, the talented quarterback here, going to get out of the pocket, almost goes down, able to stay on his feet, and then check out the speed and elusiveness down the sideline into the end zone. A touchdown for Seaford. He's been a big part of what they've been able to do here. Again, number 1 in Class 1A as it stands right now for the Blue Jays. That'll take us to number 4 here, and Cam Diter and Khalid Burton doing this for Laurel here. The Bulldogs going to drop back. Diter let this one up in the air down the field, one-on-one coverage, and how about Burton goes up over the defender, able to high point that catch into the end zone. A big touchdown on the one-on-one grab by Burton on the outside. Now take us to Riley Rankin here from Milford at number 3. Your third play here is Milford on the road at Delmar. Rankin down the middle of the field. How about this air ball deep into his hands past the defense? And he is going to be able to get into the end zone for a big play for the Milford Buccaneers as they get a big touchdown there against Delmar. That'll take us to number 2, and Donovan Griffith, a little defense here from the Appoquinimink Jaguars here. St. George's at home against Appo. This one going to be left out to the sideline, picked off by Griffith, and then he is clear down the sideline. A lot of green grass in front of him. He's going to take this one the length of the field. Griffith, a pick 6, 86 yards for the number 2 play this week. And that'll take us now to our top play, and it's not on the football field. This is girls soccer for Smyrna, overtime. Cape Henlopen and Smyrna, and Bree Moffitt able to find the back of the net here. You see her with a few dribbles there and then able to pin that one back. A game winner in overtime for Bree Moffitt. How about the Smyrna Eagles grabbing your top play of the week here from early October? It's been a lot of action so far here. Their high school sports, our college sports, and only more fun to come, guys. We're not going to bring up what happened Thursday night with our Philadelphia sports teams. We are moving on.
Thank you so much, Nick. I love when Nick's on the show.
Yo, Nick is crazy. Nick,
you're so good at this job, just so you know.
Yeah, and Nick, real quick.
Yeah.
How many total yards did DSU have?
791. It was close to 800. It was 608 rush yards. Ivan, think about that. 608 rushing yards.
Wait a minute. Have you ever heard anything like that before? Nick?
I've never seen that before. I've never seen it. Marquise Gillis, the Milford High School Buccaneer who played locally around here a few years ago, has been fantastic. Delaware State, guys, the #1 rushing offense in the country, not just the MEAC coming into that game. And I think they gave themselves some ground there. They're going to still sit atop those ranks for sure.
I know the crowd went crazy. Since you was there, were you at the game? Was people going crazy? She said people were going crazy. I know it was, boy. I know it was.
It was a great game. Nick, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Happy to be back.
All right, and Nick, where can people find you at if they're in their car listening to the radio?
94.7 WDSD is Delaware's country station. Your home for Delaware Blue Hen football. So we will be live on the air Wednesday, 6 o'clock for that big game against Jacksonville State if you want to tune in.
I got it. And Nick, one more time, you got to plug DETV Sports Show, man. And when you guys are talking about like local sports, like
we actually got some big things I think coming up on the horizon here to be determined. So something to keep an eye out here. We're going to bring some of that local sports to a show format here coming up in the next couple of weeks. So right as football's picking up, getting into the heat of things, we're going to be able to bring you some highlights, scores, replays, analysis, all you need. And plus you can catch Matthew and I every Tuesday at 7 for our we cover college, sports, professional, everything you know with the NFL and everything on that end as well. So we got it all covered. Make sure you tune into DETV every week.
You forgot the Blue Coats halftime show. Remember that?
We've got a lot coming. We've got so much on the brain right now. We got that pregame, postgame, and halftime. Again, all to be determined. Keep an eye out. Check out the DETV here on social media. And a lot of great things to come here, especially sports-wise. So make sure you're tuning in and paying attention.
I love it. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate you, baby.